Hey, what's going on, folks? And yes, this is another episode of Just My Opinion with Ryan. I want to say thank you all for joining again. If this is your first time here, please do me a favor, hit that like and subscribe button. Also, you know my slogan, I want to talk to the camera. Hopefully you guys talk back in the comments. Let me know what you think about today's video, your thoughts. Also, I'm open to any type of recommendations for other shows or movies to watch. Open to just about any genre. Even if it's a documentary, which is what we're going to talk about today. Listen, I'm speechless, but I finished watching the Tinder Swindler not too long ago, just a couple days ago, matter of fact. And let me tell you, that documentary left me speechless. Just everything about it, the unfortunate victims, how elaborate this guy was working. This guy, his name is Simon Leviev, or that's what he changed his name to. I'll add his original name in the descriptions, but this documentary was like, man, wow. It was just a wow fact. That it left me speechless, I'll be honest. The creators of this documentary, they're also known for the previous documentary on Netflix known as Don't F with Cats, which was also very good. I highly recommend that also. But so those guys, that team who did that one, they're 2 for 2 in my opinion. The Tinder Swindler is about a dating con man basically. This guy by the name of Simon Leviev. He had a dating profile, all these pictures of him traveling the world, doing different things. Well traveled. He claimed to be in the diamond industry, as far as owning like a couple mines. I believe having some jewelry stores, and he came up with this plot saying that he came from money. Basically, his father dealt with diamonds before that, and so he called himself the Prince of Diamonds, and his father was like the King of Diamonds. He came up with a very in-depth plot or con. And once again, I don't know if I really need to give you a warning about spoilers, because once again, this is not like a movie, it's a documentary, and so you can literally Google these people and the true story comes up. So anyway, that's just a sidebar. So the story starts off like that. That was his that's his story. He would tell all his women that he's, once again, this is big time diamond tycoon, right? And unfortunately, the documentary circles around the number of victims. Mainly 3 women, Cecilia, I want to say Irene, and then there was one towards the end. Her name escapes me as well, but it focuses on these 3 women especially. Cicely is, unfortunately, the main victim, who I feel like, well, actually, all of them, were victim to this guy, but I believe she bared the brunt of most of it. And anyway, so Cecilia goes on Tinder. She sees Simon's profile. Once again, from his profile, she could tell this guy's well traveled. He looks attractive, and I will say the deciding factor was, he got some money. He's into the diamond industry. He comes from money. Yeah, I'm gonna swipe right and let's see if we match. Of course, they match. And just a quick side note, these women did get a lot of heat online when this story first broke about the Tinder Swindler, calling them gold diggers, saying they got what they deserve because, y'all only swipe right on this guy because he had money in the first place, this and the third. Y'all ain't really know him. Like, I don't want to go as far as calling them gold diggers. But I do truly believe that women are attracted to men with money the same way men are attractive to good looking women, which is why I feel like women are getting all these, surgeries and jobs. Sure, it's for themselves as well to, I guess, feel better, but ultimately I believe it's so they could attract a certain type of man. But anyway, that's not what this video is about. Just a very, very quick sidebar. So yeah, of course the deciding factor is, he's well traveled, he's good looking, and he got money. Yeah, let's see what this is about. And on their first date, dude takes her to a 5-star restaurant. It feels like a fairy tale, like something. It's like they felt like it was almost like a real life fairy tale. Like, this is my prince who's going to sweep me away, and this and the third. We about to have a family, kid. So anyway, first date goes home run, hits it out the park. 5-star dinner, great conversation, this and the third. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe they even had sex, if not the first night, then very shortly after that. But they hit it off very well, needless to say. And roughly a month into it, after things were like just his honeymoon phase, a month into it. And once again, because he was this busy diamond guy, it was kind of like I guess a fairly long distance relationship. I only call it a long distance relationship because this guy was traveling all over the place and he was barely home. And the main way of their communicating was through WhatsApp or Tinder, just through messages and voice notes or whatever. So anyway, a month into this woman feeling like she's on cloud nine, she's on bliss, this and the third, here comes the bullshit. You know, Simon pretty much hits up this woman and is like, look, let me let it to you straight. Yes, I'm in the diamond industry. I got all this money, blah, blah, blah. But if we want to take this thing any further, I need to be very honest with you. Sometimes things can get a little dicey, things get a little dangerous. I got enemies who are after me who don't want me to do my thing in this diamond industry. Long story short, my credit card stuff, I can't use it anymore because that's how my enemies are tracking me. So I'm gonna need you to, create an American Express account, mail me the card with your name on it so I could, use it and do my thing. I'll pay you back once I get some stuff in order. And sure enough, victim number one, Cecilia in this case, she goes right along with it. She creates a credit card. He says, thank you, gives her all the I love yous, this and the third. And, he's off with her credit card, spending it on the next broad. I'm sorry, spending it on the next woman, right? So this was pretty much like the dating version of a Ponzi scheme. I'm gonna get money from victim number one, and then I'm gonna spend that money from victim number one onto victim number two, and so she continues to believe that I have my own money. And then you just keep continuing that way. Victim number two ends up giving him more money, and now he's taking that money onto victim number three. So this was just like the ongoing cycle of what this guy was doing. And as I mentioned, I definitely felt sorry for the for the women in this documentary. And it got to the point to where the credit cards was maxing out within like the first 3-4 days, and she had to jump the hoops to try to either pay it down. And this is the part that had me speechless. This is, if you weren't speechless already, this one also left me speechless. It got to the point to where these women were taking out loans. They were taking out loans of like $30,000 here, $50,000 there. Victim number one, Cecilia, ended up raking up about $250,000 in loans that she didn't use for herself, but she took that $250, cumulative total, and was just sending it to homeboy, sending it to Simon for him to use. And yes, he wasn't using it for his diamond industry work that he said he was. He was using that loan money that she was giving to this dude just so he could spend it on the next woman. And once again, he was living big. I'm talking 5-star hotels. I'm talking expensive tours, this and the third. And he did this with every woman he was with. I'm gonna just say this, man. I think there's a lesson learned for these women and lesson learned for anyone, watching that documentary. But I'm gonna tell you like this. That takes a lot of audacity, nerve, gall, whatever descriptive word you want to put there. It takes a lot of nerve to borrow money from somebody, and then a few days later, you turn around and you ask that same person for money. That's exactly what was happening. Like, he maxed out the Amex card. A few days later, hey, I need more money. Like, just like that. And these women wanted to believe this love story so bad that they was like, all right, this sounds like some BS, but I'm gonna give it to you. You know what it reminds me of? It might be a corny example, but excuse me. Once again, I'm a big movie fan. Whether it's streaming it in the house or sometimes I'll still go to the theater and watch a movie. Either way, I'm such a movie fan. Sometimes I will watch a movie and the movie can be horrible. But because I chose this movie, because I went out of my way to watch this movie, deep down in my heart, I want this to be good. I want to convince myself that this movie is good, and it ain't good. And I felt like that's the same with some of these victims. It's like deep down in your heart, you want what this guy is selling. You want what he's selling to be true. You want it to be true. You want it to be the love story. You want him to be the hero that sweeps you off your feet. But deep down in your heart, I believe that these women knew what was up. These women knew that this guy was full of it, but something in their heart just said, I'm going to go along with it. I'm going to keep going. This has to lead somewhere. And you can't really blame him because he showed you the luxury. He showed you the 5-star restaurants for your first date. He showed you, all the lifestyles of the rich and famous mirage. He showed you that. So I can understand why his story could be believable because this is his first impression of showing. He shows you what life could be with him. And these women were not aware that it was all a lie. It was all a huge con. And like I said, that's just a lot of nerve just to keep asking the same person for money. But at the same time, they got to take blame for continue to buy into that and continue to go for these loans and giving him money. And now, they're not searching for Simon. They are searching for victims 1, 2, and 3. They're searching for victims that has their name on these credit cards. They're searching for the women who are taking out the loans. They ain't searching for Simon. So, I don't want it to be too long because I could rant on this documentary for a long time. I highly recommend anyone to see it. It's very, very entertaining and just leaves you in shock just about how these women were getting got. I don't want to spoil, how things unfold, but it definitely is a documentary that will just take your breath away. I highly recommend you watch it so you can see how things develop and how things end. Or, like I said, if you maybe don't have time, you can definitely Google this Tinder Swindler and see what the story's about. But man, it's a good one. And this is just my opinion. Love it or hate it, this is just my opinion. Peace.